Hello and welcome to The Locker Room. We made it through the 5th year anniversary party.
Hey!
To tell the tale.
Some of us did.
Some of us did. Yeah, some of us actually didn't turn up. Some of us have got plenty to talk about on tonight's Locker Room. Karim Benzema, does he still have a lot to offer to Madrid, or is his time running out? We'll discuss Manchester United's loss to Chelsea, and there were some changes in the Serie A table. So let's get to it, and we'll start with Real Madrid. We've got Christian Vieri, Ray Hudson, Thomas Rungan and Gary Bailey here with us. Karim Benzema is the latest victim of the Bernabeu boos. The Madrid-based press this morning have also made a point of highlighting some of his less than favourable stats right now. The claws are out for the Frenchman. Is his time up? Or do the critics need some time out?
Listen, first and foremost, the guy's been amazing for Real Madrid, and he deserves support when he's going through probably his worst barren spell, plus his worst run of form. But he's got to be benched. I think he's got to be benched. I mean, he is playing so bad. He is so rough in his finishing, both upstairs and downstairs. He's certainly missing Bale, but Cristiano is showing signs of frustration with him as well. He's in a terrible run of form. And I think when Gareth Bale gets back, Benz will be out.
I agree with you 100%. But when you say he's got to get benched, I agree. You know, keep him on the bench for a week or two, make him train, get his form back. Who's going to play? They have no one.
Were you ever in that sort of run? Right. So how much was it on a mental state as opposed to like physically not finishing your chances? And how do you deal with that?
It's okay because you're used to it. You're used to when you score, you're the best striker in the world. The week after, you miss 2 chances. They say you shouldn't play, you should be on the bench. So you're used to that. Mm-hmm. You just got to keep on training.
Right.
You got to work. If physically you're not in good form, you know that.
Right.
You got to work. Like say to the coach, you know what? Don't make me play Sunday. I'll train 10 days. Get fit again.
How much does that? Let me ask you the last question, Gary. How much was it of a bad thing, a good thing to feed your fire when you were going that the crowd? Did the crowd turn against you because they turned against this man?
You got to remember one thing: the people, the crowd, they turn against everyone,
right?
Because they want you to score.
In Real Madrid,
I was whistled in Inter Milan. Ronaldo was whistled in Inter Milan. Yep. Ronaldo now is whistled in Real Madrid. The only number 10 Barcelona guy, he doesn't get whistled.
Right.
But the rest of the world, you don't perform, you're going to get whistled. Yeah. That's how it is. Even if you've been there like Benzema, he's been there 10 years. They've won everything. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. You got to have a little patience with your guys.
Does benching him solve the problem, Gary?
Does what?
Benching him solve the problem?
I don't think that will solve the problem. He's lost his pace. We saw that bit of footage there where he got put through by Cristiano. He's got 4 yards on the defender. And he gets caught. He doesn't see Asensio. He doesn't lift his head. He hasn't got the pace. So as a striker, I agree with you. If you're fit, you can be out of form. But if you're slowing down, you can't sort that out. Now, there's no Morata on the bench to bring on, and he's made a mistake of selling Morata and not replacing him with someone
We're taking this one play and we're going, he's done.
No, that's not true, Thomas. Hold on, it's not true. It's not true. We're not saying it's one game.
That's what he just said. He's done.
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying he's slowing down, and he's got a problem. Hang on a second, let Thomas talk. What's your issue?
This team is struggling. Yeah? It's not just Benzema.
No, sure.
Right?
Sure.
If you look at all the, again, I know statistics, but the chances out wide are not coming, really. There's no right fullback that can attack anymore. Nacho is poor.
Thomas is having his chances.
In midfield, he had 28 shots on goal, scored 2. This guy in the last 10 years been double figures. This guy as a number 9 has more assists in the last 5 years than any number 9. Just to say right now he's done, I think it's ridiculous.
Here's a question for you. If you had a choice of Morata now or Benz, who would you play?
Okay.
Would you play?
Morata.
There you go. So he's not as good as Morata.
No. I wouldn't play Morata because Morata played last year. Started 10 times, scored 1 goal.
That was last year.
Every time off the bench.
That was
last
year.
He's played for Chelsea.
This year, would you play Morata?
He's played for Chelsea. Different system, different coach.
You said he's slowing down. But when you're physically not in form, you're slow.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing you see on a soccer player when he's not in good form.
Sure.
He's slow, has a hard time stopping the ball. You can see it straight away. He has a hard time keeping the ball in his feet. That means that physically, he's not in good form.
But
So
why not? How can he not be? I mean, he's
the
training.
whole, like
he's got coaches.
Thomas just said it now. The whole Real Madrid team's like that.
They are
So
playing
what
poorly.
about when players like Gary Lineker come out and criticise him after watching him in that Spurs game and then just looking at his goal-to-game ratio to judge what type of player he is?
I don't know why Gary Lineker works on TV in England for. Only in England he can
well
work on
done.
TV. He scored all of his goals in the 6-yard box.
Correct.
So what? And the thing is that he's a striker. So when a striker doesn't score for a couple of games, you're going to kill him? He should know better.
It's not a case of killing him either. I think that with Benzema and this game, it was a big game for Real Madrid. They've got to put away this underdog, Las Palmas, who they were expected to batter. I expected them to really take them to clean hands. 5 minutes in, was it 7 minutes in? Cristiano puts him in. One-on-one with the goalkeeper.
That's the one we're
He's
talking
left his
about.
defender, so it's not his pace. It's in front of goal. He has lost that ability. The next one,
he
later
lost
on
his
in the game, let me
confidence.
finish. This ball comes in from Isco. Perfect. This is upstairs this time. And he misses the ball completely. There's something seriously wrong in a miss with this guy right now.
Can I tell you
He
something?
needs to be rested.
You know why I'm telling you? Because I've been in his position. When you're not in good form, you don't even see the goals. You don't even know where the goal
Right.
is. You don't even see your teammates because you're just having a hard time.
He's
You're not in
freezing.
good. But
So
doesn't
what
mean
does
that
it do to your confidence? Is that a big problem
you
for
got
him
to
at the
train.
moment?
Sure.
Okay, it happens in your career. Just that you got to train. You got to train. You got to eat better. You got to train harder. You go 2 hours before and do some
But what if
sand
he's
work,
doing that,
some
Christian?
gym work.
What if he's doing that? What if he's
Okay,
doing
but-
all of that? Then maybe he is
But
getting
you have
slower.
hard, but listen, I didn't
What's
score
the other s-
every game for 20 years. You know what I mean?
It's been a long time. His last goal was April in the league. He's been going through a bad spell
And it's
for a
not
while
just
now.
him,
And he's
you
not
know,
a youngster anymore, right?
without
He's
changing-
pushing
without
30, and when you
changing
when you
track.
push 30, you start to lose a little bit of pace. And we
Pace was never his big
That's
number
right.
one.
That's
It was
right.
never his
He's a
number
cleaner.
one. Correct, exactly. Blink me a little bit here. You're
Finish.
Ronaldo. Let me get in the
Yep.
box and
Dead
finish. And he wasn't clinical, right? Absolutely that one. But what you said, you don't see the goal when you get in that. For us to say right now, for somebody to say right now, he's done. I think it's categorically.
We've been there enough
wrong.
times to see, as a footballer, as a goal scorer, when you're in that goal scorer's groove, the goal looks like a barn door. When you're out of favour, it looks like a mouse hole. And that's what he's going through right now. And it's not just him. Before the Madridistas start pouring us with hate, Suarez is even worse.
Correct. Good
Oh, Maria!
All right, let's go
True.
to Barcelona, because even with Suarez out of form, though, they are doing okay, as we saw Paco Alcácer coming in at the weekend, scoring 2 goals there. Ernesto Valverde is tinkering, and it seems to be paying off every time he does so.
Brilliant choice. But I've got to say to Alcácer, that was a wonderful performance, not because he scored twice, but we were talking about it on the weekend. I'm sure you talked about it in your commentary. He was in the middle of defence on the right-hand side working. Then he was rushing up to go and join them. Then when Messi pulled there, he would go in the middle. Then, and he was constantly thinking and plugging the gaps all the time. When he came off in, what was the 65th minute, he was knackered. He was finished because he had run his socks off. And I think that if you can get a striker who can work hard, who can fill the gaps, and he can go on and score goals, wow,
That's
you've got
what they
somebody
need.
special.
Players like that. We just talked about Benzema. I
Yeah.
think Suarez is worse than Benzema.
So
I think he's even
what's
slower.
What's
what I
Suarez's
mean.
problem right now? Is it
For me,
similar to
he's
one
out
to
of form.
Benzema?
And you
So-
look at the chances that they're getting. These are clear-cut chances. These are, and it's been continual. Open goals Suarez has been missing. Forwards, man, you're flipping crazy. They're a breed apart. They're even worse than goalkeepers, Gary. I mean,
can't be.
well,
Come on.
You seen the Mainz? You seen the Mainz goalkeeper? Oh, you see that goalkeeper?
It's great. Well, and maybe looking now a little bit at Zidane and Valverde. And when things go well, it's easy to say, you know, this guy here, but he's pulled all the right strings. You know, be it Semedo and Paulinho still is not a starter, but when he comes in, he's very effective. You know,
Yeah, like his plan B
Alcácer-
is working for him this season
Alcácer,
already.
absolutely. You know,
And you do, so what are you
Yeah.
going to say, that Zidane's isn't?
Well, maybe
Because
it's a role reversal.
whatever Zidane said at half-time in that Las Palmas game worked like a charm, because that was... I didn't recognise Real Madrid. The second half, they were way better, 3-0.
Yeah, but Plan B is often the sort of reserves. He sold Plan B in the summer.
Right.
He sold Hummers, he sold Morata,
Right.
he sold Pepe.
So-
what Valverde's done, he's brought in Plan B with
Paulinho,
Semedo
Denis
and Paulinho.
Suarez doing
and that
his
seems
job
to
when
make
he
a
comes
difference.
in. Deulofeu
So what happens
doing
in the
his
winter
job.
transfer, lads? Is he going to go out and get...
Zidane has to. Should he not?
I think he
Who,
has to.
who, Lewandowski? That would be my guy.
What, on the to
Here's-
start or on
Yep,
the bench?
Real Madrid, Lewandowski.
Here's a name for you. Harry Kane?
Nah,
You wouldn't buy Harry
No
Kane?
big team's going to sell their players in January.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm just
maybe,
dreaming, to put it right.
Anyway, we're just seeing the end of this performance here from Paco Alcácer, doing really well there with Barcelona. Manchester United, we must talk about them. Chelsea beat them 1-0 at Stamford Bridge thanks to a goal from Alvaro Morata. But it was a back three for Mourinho's men.
Yeah.
Didn't work for you, Gary.
It didn't, because there's two English centre. In England, we never play with a back five. I mean, it's foreign. So Phil Jones steps out. Smalling goes one way. Eric Bailly doesn't plug the gap, and Morata gets a free header from 6 yards out. It doesn't work. And what frustrates me as a Man United fan is it's not United's style of football either. It's like watching a bit of Van Gaal at times. I would rather United attack, lose 3-0 to Chelsea, but we really tried him. We're throwing balls in there. Lukaku's diving, not this defensive counter-attack stuff.
What's these
you
looks
agree?
from
Disagree?
you to him here?
No, he's putting Van Gaal in a category of
He's
playing,
worse than Mourinho. Come
playing
on.
defensive football. No, no,
So
come on.
a back
4-3-3.
three, okay. Tell me, a back three, does it work for some teams and not for
Let me
others?
tell you.
It's this big trend
Let's
now.
go back to Conte. That was the first team to win a title with a back three in England.
Right.
17 teams this year have played with a back three, Arsenal being the last team. And you know what? You have to build your system around the characteristics and the strength of your players. Not say, here's a system and play it. I mean, here, real
But
quick.
that's not been working for Milan with Bonucci.
Yeah,
so you would argue
Milan.
that
I mean, I'm telling you. Here's
The tactics.
Here's Chelsea in blue, okay? Rudiger, which he bought, by the way, this year from Roma. Unbelievable. Cahill, Christensen, which he bought as well. Those are perfect three. They're athletic because they're going to cover more cut. Kante, that's the man. Not Matic or Herrera. Thank you. You don't like me. There you go again. Danny Blind, too slow on the left side. In red, by the way, from Man United. A 3-5-2. Alonso, unbelievable. Fit that system so perfectly. Defensively, make it a 5. 4 in midfield, 5-4-1. But you go, woof,
So
you go,
Mourinho's
baby.
at fault. Mourinho shouldn't play the system.
Mourinho's a
should he?
troller, man.
The
He
thing is
trolls
that
people.
What Thomas said, I agree. The thing is that Conte, he trains you tactically
Yes.
every day and makes you go crazy.
So you understand.
Every day.
Yes.
You don't just from 4, okay, Sunday we're going to play 3 in the back. What are you, kamikaze? What are you doing?
You can't.
You got to train it. You got to hours and hours and
But you gotta
hours and
understand the
months
system,
and months.
yeah?
You got to understand. You got to have the right players. You don't just from one week to the other. I'm taking this
I
one.
agree with Thomas in terms of your players, but were you seeing Smalling and Jones in the back three?
Yeah. Smalling, Jones,
You
and
want
Eric
them
Bailly.
two playing football out of the back?
No, they did.
He played him in the back in the last game. Good luck. They can't defend, big space, and they can't play with the ball, Rocky.
Can't play with the ball, that's the key.
Key, absolutely. So Mo got it wrong.
Okay.
He's a troller, man.
On the other side of the
Portuguese,
city,
man.
Exactly.
Manchester City
Exporto,
seem to
by
be
the way, or
getting
not?
everything right, including refereeing decisions as well. Some are saying the Premier League's already over. Would you go so far as to say that?
No, but
Come on,
they would
Gary,
have,
now.
They would have
Gary.
to slip up City to lose it. They're playing so well. I mean, they are playing the way United fans wish we were playing. You watch them and you draw Sané's pace, Sterling's pace, De Bruyne and Silva in midfield are wonderful. You start to look at them and think, hang on a second, the English teams are now, especially them, they can make a real tilt at Barca, Real Madrid, PSG, the way they're playing. Time will tell,
paper.
but they look so good.
So
at the
Gary
moment.
Bailey can't look past Manchester City for the title this season.
I know, it
Still
hurts.
to go
It
in the
hurts.
locker room. Did Juventus win more than just their game this weekend? And our top goals are on the way too. Stick around. Classy, elegant,
Thank
and
you,
a
Kay.
true
That is
maestro. It's another Italian I'm talking about, Andrea Pirlo, announcing his retirement today. This man, Ray, really is as cool as a polar bear's backside.
Absolutely, Kay. He is graced and decorated football fields everywhere he's go, and he's pure Italiano.
I agree,
Bobo, I mean, the best haircut,
How come
by the way.
we're all born in Italy? What's
I don't know what the hell. I hate the Italians. Everything about him personified class. Everything about him, down to his haircut, but his style on the ball, his vision, like a lynx eye vision. You know, he had the neck of an owl, the way he'd survey this, and linked it up so beautifully. An absolutely world-class player that the awards can't come strong on him. And when you hear him speak, he seems like he's so introverted. He's almost
Is
shy.
that how
He
he is,
doesn't have
Christian?
that sort of
He was
personality.
a teammate of yours,
Like
yeah?
when you see him,
He was a team. You played with him.
I played Inter,
Yeah.
then in Milan, and then the national team. But when you see him like on TV, like he doesn't want to speak with the cameras.
Right.
When you're with him, He's so funny.
Really?
He's the opposite.
No.
He's so funny. He's like a comedian.
Wow.
It's just crazy. It's just that when he's in front of a camera speaking about soccer, he doesn't want to speak.
Right.
When he's he stayed in with Nesta, 10 years in Milan. They were smoking a packet a day of cigarettes and playing a PlayStation. That's it. That's what they're doing.
There you go. You hear it all here on the locker room. That's why you get all the inside stories. Now, there were some changes in the Serie A table this weekend. Juve's comeback win against Benevento. Yes, you did hear that right. Gave them more than just 3 points because they got second spot in the table. Inter were held. Oh, and they closed in on Napoli as well because they also drew their game. So, can you afford to lose points when you are going up against the likes of a Juventus, if you're Napoli, if you're Inter? These are the goals from that game.
What a good finish that is from Higuain. Mind you, didn't Matuidi do well to bring that ball back?
Yeah, they had a lot of chances. They were down 1-0. They had, I think, 7-8 chances the first half and 5-6 the second half. But they, you got to put the chances away because Benevento, they weren't like all the other teams. They were awake Sunday. Like, they could have scored.
It's about time. They'd lost the 11 before that.
Poor guys.
Do you know what, though? They equal the worst start in the whole history of the Big Five. 12 straight losses. Guess who they equal it with?
Who?
Manchester United.
Here we go.
Pierre Murray. Everybody give Pierre Murray a lovely round of applause.
That was your first year, Gary.
It should have been my last year then as well.
So listen, this is Juve turning the screw in this one. Chievo, who'd shipped how many goals? 8 goals in their last 2 games, come up against Napoli. In a team like Napoli, you think, OK, they're going to put loads past them. It didn't work out for them. Is that going to cost them later, dropping points away to teams like Chievo?
Napoli's a tired team. There were all the same players are playing all the time, and if you don't have a big bench, if you're not deep, at the end, because we've only played 10 games in the Serie A. There's another 28 games to go. It's very long. You have the whole winter, and I think the coach. That's even 2 years ago. Same mistakes that he makes. He never changes the team. You got to change the players.
Right.
And tough matches against Manchester City in between. Those are really tiring games.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that.
Is the squad deep enough, do you think?
I don't think it's deep enough. They play better than Juventus, better than other teams in Italy. But Juventus have a big bench, a huge bench. And I think at the end of the year, that's what's going to make Juventus win the 7th.
I'm just looking at the games midweek. So Juventus played at Sporting, and Napoli obviously played at home against Juve, which took against
Manchester City.
You know.
And the 2 coaches fell in love with each other's teams as well.
It almost looked that way. But the changes that Juve is able to make because of the bench, and Napoli pretty much playing the same team again, I think you're right. This team, they're not going to end up 5th. No. Because you're going to make some money on, the Porto guy.
Some crazy guy we just had a bet.
But I think with Sarri, like you say, but hopefully he's learnt the lesson as well. When Napoli came so close on, not under him, but they've got the wherewithal. I think maybe he'll be able to at least rest the players through the working week and not be as demanding that way, prepping them for the big games. Because I still think they can win it all.
Can we also mention Roma?
Yeah,
winning 4-2 away at Fiorentina.
Roma
and keeping a very good, I think the least number of goals conceded, 7, so tight in defence.
And showing that a player like Jerson coming in, scoring 2 goals in this one, so things looking
in
good
3
for
weeks.
them.
Juve versus Napoli. That's the game that's going to
win.
determine
We'll see.
At Napoli. No, at Juve, sorry.
Okay. The NASL Championship final is set. It's the San Francisco Deltas against the New York Cosmos. The game will air at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, live on beIN Sports. Bit of drama in the semi-finals. Thomas, do you think a playoff is the way to go in NASL?
God, that's a tough one. After 32 games, Miami, both in the spring and the fall season, but were by far superior. Not even close in goals for and against, and the best team. And Nesta done a great job with this team. And then one off game, true, and they should have won this game. Let's be real honest. Should have been finished in 90th minute. They had the chances in overtime, and then PKs can go each way. But here's the Cosmos again, going to the 3rd consecutive final against the Deltas.
That was to win it, Christian. That was to win it.
That one was the Cosmos player, though. Yeah, it was to win it at the time.
Yeah.
It was all right in the end. It would have killed him even more if they didn't.
But see how it is with these playoffs. You, like Thomas said, the whole year you're third, you kill everyone, then playoff. The ball doesn't want to go in. You got to penalty kicks and you're out.
Are we back to that same discussion that the way America plays soccer is not the way Europe
But America
plays?
doesn't play soccer.
Ooh.
It's all fake. This is all fake.
This is
all right.
America. America is all about playoffs. Playoffs aren't going away.
NBA,
Correct.
I agree.
Always.
NFL, okay.
Yep.
But soccer is another sport.
In this country, it ain't.
not.
It's
Okay,
playoffs.
so together. Okay.
All right, get ready
I
with
want
your
playoffs.
shirts. He wants playoffs. Get ready with your shirts. Barcelona jersey. Ben Rivers from Zion Hill.
I don't know, okay. Whatever you
Zion
you
Hill.
want to.
Okay.
Make
Real
it
Madrid
Zion Hill.
jersey winner Meryl Lynn Semugrad from Canada.
Merrill?
Yep. Meryl Lynn.
Marilyn? Oh, Marilyn, okay.
Sevilla jersey Mohamed Mahama from New Jersey.
Mohammed.
And Las Palmas
New Jersey.
jersey Sebastian
vamos.
Davila from
Sevilla.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
There you go. Well done to
Mohamed.
all our jersey winners in
Come
this
on,
one.
baby.
We'll take a quick break, then our top 5 goals. We had some nice ones this weekend. Stick around.
How does a guy from New Jersey win the New Jersey?
And
The Locker Room is presented by Ford. Go further.
Killing me, man.
our top 5 goals are brought to you by Ford, and we've got some absolute corkers for you on today's show. Here on The Locker Room, we'll start with Luca Rizzo for Spal Thomas.
Oh, Luca Rizzo, what a stunning first-time play by this guy to get his team
Curler.
Spal back into this game against Atalanta. Look at him, give him go too. Beautiful, eh?
Atalanta.
Stunning. Corker, I like it. You know, I haven't heard it for a while. What a corker that was.
In at number 4, Gonzalo Higuain.
This is the #1 striker in Italy. Nice header back from Matuidi.
Oh.
He just puts it in the second post. Wasn't easy because the ball was rising. Very good, Higuain. He's back to scoring his goals.
Best striker right now in the world?
In Italy, I said.
Okay, all right, just
He
checking.
used to be at Real Madrid, kid, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Another one who's putting them away.
And he's very similar to
Okay, Gary,
Benzema.
Giovanni Simeone.
Another very good Italian goal. Simeone getting up, heading it back the way it came, almost in the top corner. Famous name, of course, Simeone. I just like the way he heads it back the way it comes, gives the keeper no chance. Nice, good. Christian, like the way you used to do, eh?
Fantastic
Head them back.
goal.
Yes, Dad will be proud of that one. Okay, in at number 2, it's Borja Garcia for Girona. This helped them to their 3rd straight win. And look at this. It's the first goal from outside the box
Nice.
for Girona in their Liga history.
That's a
And it
great
came from Borja
stat, Kay
Garcia.
Murray.
Gorgeous goal in at number 2. So
Wow.
what could have made it in at number 1? I
You tell me.
sense it's a La Liga goal
Really?
as well, Ray Hudson.
A la Madrid, a la Madrid. Marco Asensio walks on water. A la Madrid, a la Madrid. Look at this. Half volley, absolutely radiating pure heat. Marco gets everything right, and that is a goal to make Scrooge smile. What a hit.
In front of 88,000 people.
Right. Calm, cool, and detonated.
That's
Magic.
a great
So we've got 1 minute until the end of the show.
Perfection.
Does that result make everything all right for Real Madrid?
Not even close. I mean, they're 8 points behind. They've got Atleti away next match.
Now.
They've got a World Cup
Baby,
champs
you're
come at the same
They've got a
time.
little break
Barca-
though in between that
Yeah,
with the
Barca are playing
international break.
Leganes while they're
All
playing
right
Atleti.
now.
So, no, I think
Baby,
they've got a
it's
big...
all
Promise it's
right
okay.
now. Wait, who was that? The Monkeys?
But how can the Liga be
no
finished
clue.
in November or the Premier League? It's November. We just started 2 months ago.
they've got a
relax.
mountain to climb.
Yeah, it's
Mountain to
long.
climb.
It's winter.
Do you
The
want a bench?
snow, the
They
rain.
responded at half-time to whatever Zidane said. I think they'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Anyone want to bet?
You'll
I'll
find
bet we'll
out.
never
They
win
love
the
a
league
bet, these
title.
lot. You'll
Real
find out
Madrid.
here on beIN Sports if we've got all their games. See you next time on The Locker Room.
I want Santos da Silva on my team. Gerson from Roma. They're back in it.
The Locker Room was presented by Ford. Go further.